He was fired from the very company he created. But instead of giving up, Steve Jobs came back stronger than ever and changed the world. Steve Jobs was born in 1955 in San Francisco and adopted by Paula and Clara Jobs. He wasn't the perfect student. In fact, he was often bored in class. But he had a burning curiosity for electronics. As a teenager, Jobs would hang around Hewlett-Packard, soaking up knowledge about technology and innovation. In 1976, with his friend Steve Wozniak, Jobs built the first Apple computer in his parents' garage. They started Apple Computer, and the Apple II became one of the first successful personal computers. Jobs was only 21, but he already had a vision to put a computer in every home. Then came the Macintosh in 1984, with its groundbreaking graphical interface. It was ahead of its time, innovative, creative, and bold, just like Jobs himself. But success didn't last forever. By 1985, Apple was struggling with leadership conflicts. Jobs clashed with the board of directors and was eventually forced out of his own company. Imagine building something from scratch and then being told you don't belong there. For most people, that would have been the end. But not Steve Jobs. Jobs started over. He founded a new company called Next, a computer company that focused on powerful machines for business and education. At the same time, he invested in a small graphics company called Pixar. At first, both ventures were risky, and Next struggled to make money, but Pixar would later create Toy Story, the first ever computer-animated feature film, and change entertainment forever. Meanwhile, Apple was failing without Jobs. In 1997, Apple bought Next, and Steve Jobs returned to the company he created. That comeback was the beginning of one of the greatest turnarounds in business history. Jobs wasn't just back, he was on a mission. He simplified Apple's product line and focused on design, innovation, and user experience. Soon came the iMac, the iPod, and iTunes, products that redefined technology and culture. But he wasn't done. In 2007, Jobs unveiled the iPhone, a device that combined a phone, a music player, and the internet in one. People didn't just buy it, they lined up for it. The iPhone completely changed how we live, work, and communicate. After that came the iPad, the App Store, and an entire ecosystem that made Apple the most valuable company in the world. Steve Jobs' journey wasn't perfect. He faced rejection, failure, and even got fired from his own company. But he never stopped believing in his vision. He once said, "Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick." His story teaches us that setbacks are not the end. They can be the beginning of something far greater. In 2011, Steve Jobs passed away, but his legacy lives on in every iPhone, every MacBook, and every piece of technology inspired by his vision. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life, Jobs once said. And that's the message we can take from his story. Follow your passion, embrace failure, and dare to think differently.